All right, good morning, Hurricane Creek Farms. Sun finally decided to come out for us. It's about 10:15 a.m. But like usual, got a bunch of things to do today. No major projects. Hopefully we'll get most everything done as long as we don't run into any hiccups. But appreciate y'all watching. Give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. Subscribe if you haven't. But let's get after it. So, put out hay for the cows yesterday. You can see the cone feeder, like right through there. That's the one roll of hay that was stored in the barn. Down here was in there, so they ate it up. They've started to pick on the other rolls. You can see, got one right there. Put out 6 altogether. But they're about ready to be put out on grass. They're about ready to do it, or they're more than ready. The grass is just about ready. See, we've got quite a few lounging down there, kind of staring longingly out there at that new pasture. But my plan is, tentatively, that may be the last hay that we put out for them, at least for now. By this weekend, they'll have eaten it up. We'll turn them out on some grass. There's no, more freezing temperatures in the forecast right now. I'm not under the illusion that we won't have another freeze, but we had that snow, just 5 days ago, but it got out of here in a hurry. It's supposed to be in the low 60s to even close to 70s just about every day. But we're gonna go get some corn first thing. Our feeder steers are out of corn, so we're gonna get hooked up to the bin. See if we can figure out a way to we got some corn stored on a seed tender. See if we can get it in here. That may be our biggest challenge for today. We're hooked up. We'll go ahead and get whatever little bit of corn is still left in here. Put it in these tubs. Find out how empty it really was, and how low we were getting. If you guessed we had about 2 tubfuls of corn still in there, then you were dead on. So I'm trying to remember when we used to keep corn up there in the other bins, and we'll bring it down here in those using side-by-side like 2 or 3 times a week, which was a hassle. I think those would hold about probably about 4.5 5-gallon bucketfuls of corn. So we'll say that's 9 buckets between those 2 tubs. We're feeding 3, maybe just a little under 3 buckets twice a day. So might as well say we're feeding 6 bucks a day. So yeah, another day and a half, we would have been out. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, we wouldn't have had any corn to feed by Friday. So cut it pretty close. That's why we're going to get some more corn. So I do think auger is gonna be long enough. We don't have a spout coming off of the end there, so we're gonna use a piece of cardboard, make sure we can funnel it in, but fingers crossed this is gonna work. We're making it work. Corn back under the barn in the bin. That was probably the most pressing item on our to-do list, because we were obviously going to run out of corn here in just the next day or 2. But yeah, that's y'all's breakfast and dinner. Some of them for just another 6 days or so, but that'll be more than enough corn. Just looking, I think it was 7 weeks ago today when we went and last had it filled up, and I think within 6 weeks we'll be completely out of the feeder business. And obviously for 2 of them, they're gonna be done next week, so our daily consumption's about to drop way down anyway. Got a roll of hay loaded back there now, obviously just taking one. We're gonna get some fencing stuff. Our next plan is to move those calves to the other farm, to the extreme other end of the farm. I thought all along I was just gonna move them through the pastures, but this is gonna be a lot simpler, faster, and effective. Just load load them up and move them. Right now, I know we've got a tree on the fence in at least one spot. Shouldn't be a major fix. Probably have tree on the fence in a few other spots. But we're gonna fix that spot on the fence. Go ahead and put a roll of hay down in that other end for them. It should be pretty decent grass, but we're gonna have a roll of hay just so they aren't gonna go without under any circumstances, and then get them moved. We'll get the 2 bulls moved back up here and have them out here with these 2 new bulls. We dropped a roll of hay right out there just on top of this ridge. We've got a spot, before I walk off too far, tree down on the fence right there. It's right literally at the gate. So no doubt there's probably some other tree damage in other spots, but gonna be something grazing in here for them to go ahead and start picking around on. See there, clover coming up in spots pretty well, but want them to go ahead and have that roll of hay just so there's no doubt there's plenty for them to eat no matter what. We're gonna get this spot on the fence fixed, walk the rest of it. So they're pretty much just gonna be in this area right here, those 20 head for the next week or so, depending on how this grass holds out. Just want to hold them off the bulk of the pasture as long as we can to give it plenty of time to really get ahead of them. Nothing major here. Don't know that they could have just walked out, but we're gonna get it cut off there. Get that, may just be one broken wire tied back together, and then yeah, it may need a little work right over there too, but we can get the rest of it checked on. Like I always say, it's not pretty. It should be effective. Just actually those wires tied back together. Twist them back. Wasn't too bad up here. It's not fantastic fence, but these calves are going to be, you know, some that we've had for a while. And really any calves that we bring down to this side of the farm will be after we've had them for a while. So we're going to walk around the rest of the fence. We're right up here by the road, so Archie's not going on the ground yet. Yeah, you can see, yeah, some good looking clover in here. This cool season grass is starting to put out, so I doubt they'll even mess with that hay too much, but again, it's there if they want it. This is apparently just gonna be one of those days the sun cannot decide if it wants to shine or not. Sunglasses on, sunglasses off. I'm gonna wear them out, taking them on and off. Like right now, I'm starting to get a little warm with these sleeves on, but just a few minutes ago it was cool because the sun was behind the clouds and the wind was blowing, so yeah. But overall, pretty nice day. Not complaining. See where they cut the timber on the neighbor's place last summer, last fall from there. That always worries us, just because getting stuff on the fence, that's not pretty. Again, not somewhere where they can just really get out. But we've got some mature timber on our place that probably should be cut. But man, it just, I know long term it does benefit the property typically, and benefit the timber to go ahead and get that mature stuff cut and let new growth come on. But man, it's just such an eyesore when right after it's been cut. So a fair amount of tree damage. You can probably see this one split and fell, but didn't get on the fence. Yeah, the only real damage was right there at the gate. So across this cross fence, look out here at the pasture. Oh yeah, there's a bigger part of the pasture. Yeah, we're greening up. Just seeing that is good for the soul. Come on, Arch. There you go. Short as you are, you should be able to go under barbed wire, no problem. Yeah, we're, look at there. Yeah, it's not just completely ready to turn out a group of 60 or so stockers yet, but very close. You being vocal? All right, so we're gonna head back to the truck, go feed them calves so they'll be caught. Go get the trailer them down here, trailer the bulls back home. That'll be the other biggest of our chores off the to-do list. I think I pointed this out before, but we have right here, of course, this is obviously old fence, but a cross fence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strands of barbed wire, all intact, all evenly spaced on that cross fence. Have no idea what the man putting that fence up thought he was fencing in or out, but there's another good shot at it there. I don't want to encounter whatever animal that was trying to fence in. Maybe sheep or goats. I heard people say that you can tell if sheep or goats can get out of a pasture. If you can pick up a handful of sand and throw it, and any of that sand goes through the fence, and the sheep and goats can get out. Maybe that's what they were fencing in there. I don't know. Just a slight bit of concern they weren't going to cooperate. So obviously I hadn't been down here to feed today until just now. They're out of hay, which is one reason we're moving them. I knew I either needed to bring them hay or go ahead and move them. We went ahead and made the decision, obviously, that we made. It'll move, but we'll see if they'll all cooperate and come on in here and eat. It would figure that one day they don't want to come in here is when I want to catch them, but looks like they're gonna agree with the plan. They cooperated. Of course, Brindle, white-faced one right there, was the last one to cooperate, but the trick of can I work a gate latch with one hand while I film with the other one. Trailer's backed up, ready to go. Get these calves in here. We're not gonna haul the 2 bulls down there. We'll actually haul the calves, and we'll come back into the bulls and take the bulls home, so there won't be anything here. But made a hat change. Everybody knows that if you're handling cattle, wearing a cowboy hat makes you approximately 78% more efficient. So we're all about efficiency. Hey up, hey up. Hey up, hey up. Hey up. Good babies. All right. That went better than usual. So now the interesting part is see if we can get the 2 bulls back. Leave the 20 calves in here and then we'll load the calves. Got the 2 bulls sorted out. They're over there now. Maybe getting about time for new GoPro. It's like the 3rd time today I've had to pull the battery out. It's just frozen. The only way I can get it to restart. But now we'll see if we can get some calves loaded. Go. Go. Get on up in there. Come on, let's get tight. Y'all can fit. Hey up. Hey up. Hey up. Get on there. Y'all will fit. Go on. Hey up, hey up, step up there, step up there. Get on there, boys. Get on there, boys. Get on there, bro. Get on there, plenty of room, plenty of... Problem that we need to address at some point, this gate here just does not go back all the way, or it springs back to right there. And as they're coming up, they like to crowd along, you know, this fence here, and they always end up getting into that, and then you can see what happened there. They got over into this, and not a major problem, but a little bit of a hiccup that just shouldn't happen. All right, so they made the 1 mile drive this end of the farm, let them out in here. Spend like I say, next week or so just in this area up here. Easy. So unless I miscounted, oh, I only counted 19 coming off there. It's always something. They're gonna run up that way. Go down here and turn around. I'm just gonna throw a couple of them little feed bunks in the trailer, bring them back up here where we can give them a little feed every day. We unknowingly or unintentionally conducted a little bit of a science experiment down here, apparently this winter. So got 2 feed bunks that we grabbed, a blue one and a white one. Blue one was laying right here upside down. See, grass was all dead underneath it. The white one was laying in much the same way, flipped over just like these. course, obviously both those are blue. That was everything underneath that one. It's like some nice oats coming up there. Obviously nice and green and alive. So nice little science lesson on, I guess, translucent versus opaque. So you're supposed to trust the science, right? Isn't that what Fauci says? There's science for you. Science lesson from Hurricane Creek Farms coming to you today. They've had no grass, you know, nothing but hay for the last several months. And yet they choose to gather around a roll of hay. They're getting settled in. Put them a little feed out. One thing I did forget is I meant to throw a bag of mineral on the back of the truck, putting the feeder up here. I forgot that. We'll just bring that in the morning when we come by and feed them. Not a big deal, not like they would have necessarily ate a bunch of mineral today anyway. I do worry a little bit about them all of a sudden having this grass to eat, grass tetany. But they've had high mag mineral available to them for the last couple of weeks. Y'all gone. Let's get y'all loaded now. Come on, boys. On to the trailer. On to the trailer. Hey up. Hey up. Hey up. Hey up. Go on up there. Go on up there. Go on. Go on, boy. Go on, old boys. Y'all get in there. Oh, what a bunch of good boys. Very cooperative. We appreciate that. All right, so I don't know if I've explained why we did all this, kind of shuffling these cattle around. One, not ideal that those bulls were still with those young heifers. We just didn't have a place to house everybody differently. So we wanted to get them separated, get them back to the house. Still a couple of months before we'll turn them in, a month and a half anyway, for our breeding season. Two, we're gonna be bringing in our big load of stocker steers, 40 or 50 or so that we're gonna buy here in 2 to 3 weeks. And they'll be right here. They'll unload right here, of course. So we got those other calves on the extreme other end of this farm. They're about well, by road, they're about a mile away. They're probably, I don't know, close to 3/4 mile, 2/3 mile, something like that as the crow flies. So they're segregated. And we'll be around any of these potentially sick ones that could be coming in. And yeah, gets them off this pasture too. You know, obviously it just puts them on different pasture, but now they've got grass to eat. So multiple reasons why we wanted to move them. And we'll get these bulls, we'll house them back at home. We'll get them unloaded here in just a minute. We'll put a little feed out. One to distract these other bulls. Two, give those boys something to come right over here too. And hopefully they don't fight non-stop for the next several hours. Step on off there, boys. Go see your new roommates. See how this goes. Y'all get along. I know y'all will have to do your pushing around on each other and establishing dominance. These two, you know, Brangus bulls, registered Brangus bulls. I guess he's actually an F1, home raised, but them being significantly bigger, hopefully dominance will be established quickly. These other two will be submissive and will avoid any problems, but that may be wishful thinking. So get this trailer latched up and parked back under the barn, and it may just about wrap it up for this one. We still have a few more chores to get done. It is just now 2:40, so we got plenty of daytime left. But a lot of stuff about to be going on. Wrapping up calving just over the next few weeks, wrapping up the feeder steers. Like I said, we got some going to slaughter next week. Getting ready to get stocker steers is probably the big thing. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 weeks from this week, we'll have them here. Of course, there'll be a lot going on. My brother's getting a load 1 week. I'm probably getting a load. Yeah, I don't know who will be ready first, but we'll do his 1 week, mine the next, or vice versa. But a lot going on, and heck, just keeping up with everything else. Hope you get the cows turned out on pasture this weekend. That may be one of the big things for our next video. Appreciate y'all watching. Getting long-winded like usual. Thank you for watching. The channel's grown a bunch lately. So new subscribers, new watchers, glad to have you here. If you're not subscribed, it's a good idea. Go ahead and click that button. But thank y'all. Everybody remember, eat beef and God bless.